Hello, this is Caleb Hartzler. I'm going to talk a little bit about our fabric defect detection project here. Let's take a look at how the model actually does at detecting some defects here. I've got just some random cloth put some defects on it just to test it out, see how it does. So as you can see, well, the model is definitely not perfect, but it does pretty good for just a general use model, and considering the small data set that we use to train it, really shows the potential of this method. Let's take a look at the data set. So you can see we've got about 1,400 photos on the current version. You can kind of see what the defects look like. There's some with loose thread, some with seams, some with stains, and then what I called a warp weft defect. Let's see if there's maybe a better one. So a defect like this, where it's a line as if there's a thread missing. As far as the data set, how much is in each class, you can see here what we're looking at. So it's a relatively small data set, especially for how broad of a range of pictures we're going to try and take a look at. So let's take a look at the code for the interface. So the main thing to note here in the Mech and Python code is this line here. This is where you can input the weights of your own fine-tuned YOLO or whatever YOLO weights you want to put in there. So then now let's see about actually getting the system up and going. So we just navigate to the folder where we have the Python code stored, and we'll also need to have the HTML files there. And then once we're there, we can just open up a command prompt, and we'll need to activate the environment where we have all our packages installed. And then once that's loaded, we just put in Python and then the name of the file. Okay, so now we'll just follow this link here. That will take us to the control interface. So here's the control interface. You can see we can adjust some of the parameters here and take recordings of the photos. So we'll bump the resolution up. One thing to note with the photos per second, that will depend on what kind of camera you have and what resolution you're going to take the photos at. So to take a recording, you just hit the start button, and then you can either let it go to the defined time, or you can stop it ahead of time, and then you can open up the location. It'll be the location will be by the wherever your Python file is stored. So it saves the pictures, and then it also saves the labels in YOLO format, and at the bottom it has a list of what all the classes are. So there's that. One more thing to note on the interface, we do have a user interface. If you just add user interface, except not in caps locks. And the user interface isn't really fully developed, so you can't do much with it. At this point, it's mostly just a monitor, so you can obviously see the same thing, and then whenever I hit start recording on this side, it will update and keep those same statistics on this side. But even though these controls are here, they don't really work at this point. You can stop the recording though. So that's that. And then to stop the program, all we need to do is just go back to the command prompt, hit Control-C, and it will close everything down. And I guess that's it. So hopefully that tutorial was helpful.